Hello dear friends, Fisher here. It's time for Bruno's teaching. And Bruno said, human beings wreck each other's without meaning it, and it is well intended but badly done. Yes, dear friends, how often we intend to do good things but end up with bad results. I experienced that, and I believe all of you, dear friends, experience that too. Let me give you a couple examples of my life that things were well intended but badly done. I was born and grew up in a poor family, and when I was little, my grandma used to give me lots of cream. The cream came off from the top of the cakes because I was the only and oldest grandson, so they loved me so much. And she never had that in her whole life because she was born and growing up in old China during the Japanese occupation, and after that, the Cultural Revolution, the famine. She'd been through all sorts of crises, and her life was in poverty for many years. So that's why she missed all those rich food, and she gave it to me because she believed that was good for me, because that's what she has missed. So not only my grandma giving all the rich food to me, my mom did so because they will see me very precious, the only child. Nevertheless, I grew up heavier and heavier, became a fatty kid, and then I've been battling with my weight since I was growing up, 20 years plus, or maybe 30 years, until recently. I have improved so much. It was not good feeling, dear friends, when you were growing up and your classmates and people around you, the adults, and they call you a little fatty boy. It wasn't good to hear that when I was little. So my grandma, she well intended to give me the bad things she had. At least that's what she perceived was good for me. It didn't serve me to be healthy, so it was badly done. In that case, well intended, badly done. The similar case I have with a friend of mine, and she's from UK. She's in her 70s. She's lean because she said during the war and after the war, we didn't have much thing to eat. Not much rich food at all, not much sugar or cream in UK. But her little brother, who grew up when there was more supplies of rich food, sugar and cream and butter, and because he was the youngest one, so everybody spoiled him and gave him the rich food to eat. And later on, when her brother grew to be an adult, and he complained, I have been battling with my weight for more than 40 years. When I was little, I enjoyed eating all the cakes, the creamy cakes, the rich food. But now, I suffer the consequences for being severely overweight. Yes, dear friends, my friend's parents, or her siblings, or her relatives, all of them love her brother, and they give whatever they think was good to the brother. At the end of the day, it didn't serve a good purpose for him to become healthy. So he suffered the consequences of well-intended, badly done job. You believe her family wouldn't want everything good for the brother? But nevertheless, they didn't do a very good job. And I asked myself the question, dear friends, why is like that? I met so many nice people, especially when I'm traveling around Australia. There's so many nice people, regardless where they're from. They can be Australian, white Australian, Aboriginals, Asian, Europeans. Most people I met, they were very nice people. They have the good intention for themselves, and they have the good intentions for others. But nevertheless, I see they have the health problems, and then I ask myself the questions: why all these nice people have problems? Why they have a good heart, but they don't have a good body? They don't have a good health. And only later on, after I came to the teaching of Bruno, I realized human beings, we have been walking on the wrong path. The path is not leading us to health. The path is not leading us to be well, to be peaceful, to be joyful. So I understand that all of us, we're not so much connected to God. So we don't have God's divine wisdom to live our life, but rather we struggled with ourselves. And then it came, we well intended to do so many good things, but at the end of the day, we wreck ourselves, we wreck each other, and then we did a bad job. So dear friends, it's time to turn around, and I felt so lucky. God has sent Bruno here to show us a way. He's like an older brother to me, to all of us, dear friends. He showed us a way of Christ. He showed us the way back to God, a healthy way of living, of life on earth. I felt very, very grateful that I have Bruno in my life, that I could learn from him, that he could help me to develop myself, my soul and my spirit. He can help me to walk once again on God's divine path, the path leading me to salvation. Wish you have a good day, dear friends, and God bless.